Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 6, our second to last week. I'm still going through your assignments in Watermark. I know that this was challenging for some of us, myself included. I'm not an expert in Watermark, but I'm sure we're all able to get through it, and I look forward to finishing reviewing your assignments. So this week, we're going to look a little bit more into different kinds of programs, public and private. I'm going to ask that you read about charter schools and magnet schools, and also about public school preschools versus private school preschools. And I think all of you can sort of overlay your own experiences into that. So we're going to, for this week, have an assignment where I want you to pretend that you are applying for $1,000 grant. And I want you to think about some kind of an innovative either project or program that will enhance early childhood education, whether it be in a classroom or in a school. And then I would like you to also, in your planning, be very clear about how the funds are going to be used to benefit kiddos and their families and the community. Be sure to make connections to your learning. So it can be connections to different kinds of programs that we've learned about. It can be connections to the theorists, but make sure you use research to support your need for the grant project. Make sure that you do have a reference page with your grant proposal, and you also use in-text citations. I'm still writing a lot of remember to use in-text citations on assignments. Every reference that you use should have at least one in-text citation so the reader or viewer knows what information came from each. There is a very detailed list of what your proposal should look like. It should have, and I use the word compelling, a compelling and descriptive title for your project. Why should they want to fund your project? And why should that be the grant application somebody picks up and wants to start reading? There should be an introduction and background in which you describe why what you're proposing needs to be done or what problem it's going to be addressing. And then a description of the project, what goals, what do you want the end result to be, the objectives, how you're going to meet those goals, and the activities and strategies that you're going to be using for those objectives and goals. So the other important part is it's $1,000. So I want you to, in, I guess, not super detail, like I don't need to know how many pencils you're going to buy or how many sheets of construction paper. But in general, how is the money going to be spent? And when I say in general, rather than saying, 3 pairs of scissors and some glue, you would just say consumable materials or art supplies for that. And then how much are you going to have to pay extra adults? Things like that. So think carefully about how you're going to allocate that $1,000. And then as a conclusion, the summary of your project and why it has the potential to make that positive impact on children and their families in the community. So they shouldn't be longer, the proposal shouldn't be longer than a couple pages, maybe 3 pages. They should be double spaced. And again, the 2 to 3 pages does not include the reference page. Make sure you include a cover page and a project title with your name. And remember, you're trying to make it so if this was a real grant opportunity, that the grant funding committee would want to choose your grant. If you have any questions, feel free to be in touch. And otherwise, in our discussion for week 6, we're going to continue with our hot topic presentations, which I have been so incredibly impressed with, and also the really high level of conversation we've had with each other about the presentations. Take care, have a wonderful week 6, and then one more announcement after this. It'll be for week 7. Take care.